Hey guys, I'm Coach Andy with Louisiana Gridiron Football. I'm joined here by my good friends Corey Miller with Athletic Diamond, Athletic Soldier with the Southern Regional Youth Football Hall of Fame, as well as Marcus Rando, head football coach at Woodlawn High School. What we're doing today is we want to bring to you guys the top 15 preseason high school football programs in the state of Louisiana. I know you're going to say Woodlawn number one. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, right? So, we have the Youth Football Hall of Fame here. We also have the head football coach at a 5A high school football team, and then me. I travel the entire state. I've seen football, so if I put some people on the list, right. Some people are going to be shocked about what I put on the list because I've seen a lot of programs. I've seen a lot of football. I have gone through all 380-something high school football teams in the state of Louisiana and looked at your roster, so I've got a good idea what's going to look like this year. I'm looking for some surprises with this whole COVID-19, so I'm going to see how this kind of shapes up for this 2020 season. Right. But starting off at number 15, I do want to give a shout out real quick to the TIA Financial out of Lutcher, Louisiana. They're great sponsors, and I would like to thank them real quick. But going forward, at my number 15, I have Catholic Pointe Coupe. They played for the state championship last year. They worked really hard to get there. They're in a very tough division. I think it could either be them or St. Edmund Blue Jays out of Eunice. Either one of them could whoever wins that matchup in that district is going to go to the state championship this year. That's my number 15.
My number 15 is Capital High School. Capital High School, Coach Buckles, Dorset Books, he did a very good job with the offense, with the whole program, turning the whole program around. Bringing it back to that Capital way. I went to Capital High School. I'm not saying I'm not biased. I'm just saying how the program has came back really strong, and I'm applauding them. I think they're going to do a great job this year coming up.
Okay. At number 15, I got Scotlandville High School. I think Lester Ricard did a great job last year. Shout out to my ex-teammate. I think he did a great job last year as his first year as the head coach. Also having offensive coordinator, Chris Peters, probably one of the best in the game. We're running that RPO system, and they got a great young quarterback that's going to be running that system in T-set. So, and they got a gang of good running backs that they had that were young last year. I know they had two for sure that were sophomores. I'm looking at them to do some real good things up in that tough district that they'll be playing in.
I'm surprised you got him at number 15, because I got him a little bit higher because I guess I like Lester a little bit better than you do. At number 14, I have Madison Prep. Madison Prep has a returning starter at quarterback, Zeon Chris. Zeon Chris led the state last year in passing yards, over 4,000 yards passing. He also led the state in touchdowns with 49, I think it was, touchdown passes. Terrell Rabbie is coming back he's a star wide receiver for them. I look for them to have an explosive offense this year and just build upon what they started last year. So at number 14, I have Madison Prep out of Baton Rouge.
Number 14, out of Southern Lab. Southern Lab has always had dominant teams through the year. Marcus Rando, good friend Marcus, had coaching. And
you won state with them, didn't you?
Won state. Marcus won state.
A couple of them.
a couple of states. They've always had a solid program, solid kids come through the program. I look for them to be a real dominant team in this year. It's going to be a hard walk, but I think they're going to kind of withstand the storm because they got a lot of good teams in that conference. I think they should do pretty good overall.
Okay.
At 14, I also have Madison Prep. You got Coach Landry Williams over there. He's been getting that program rolling. I think the last couple of years they went to the quarterfinals, so I think they're destined to make that leap into that semi or even into the championship. They got a gang of talent over there, led by Zeon Chris, which is the quarterback, like you mentioned already. He led the state last year in pass. He's bringing one of his star receivers back. That's a Memphis commit, Tyrell Raby. So I'm looking at them to do some real good things, be very explosive over there.
Number 13, like I said, I have your former teammate rated ahead of what you had him. So Lester, don't hate on me. That's the guy you want to hate on.
Come on.
All right. So number 13, I have Scotlandville.
Okay.
Lester's done a great job. Last year was his first year of the program. So last year you always say they lost a lot of games. They went, I think, number 4 in their district. But here's the thing: their first year head coach trying to get the program running. He's had a year now with that program. I think he's going to turn that program around and lead them to the promised land this year. I think they're going to compete with, all you guys in 5A. I think he's going to turn that program around big time. I think he has 4 Division I prospects. Is going D1 this year. as of right now. I was committed. I think it's more than that even. They have a young quarterback, young freshman quarterback fixing to start for them this year. I think, or a sophomore quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the state. So, I think Scotlandville is number 13 for us.
I have Pointe Capite. Pointe Capite has a pretty good program, a real dominant program, good running game. They run like 30% of the time, pass like 70. They can mix it up. We have great quarterbacks, great coaching staff. The kids are disciplined. The kids are very well disciplined. And they did pretty good in their conference last year. And so I think they're going to do another good job this year. If everything sticks together, be solid, it'll be great, really great.
All right. Well, at number 13, I got Mandeville. They scored a gang of points last year.
But you played them last year.
We played them last year. We actually played them in the Jamboree last year, and they didn't have their number one receiver when we played them.
Yeah.
But that offense last year scored a gang of points. They're bringing back their starting quarterback from last year, so he's going to be a year, another year experience. I mean, he do lose one of his big weapons, but they got a lot of other great guys that I've seen personally.
They got a good linebacker there too.
Right, offense and defensively. So I got those guys. They're picked to do some good things. They did this year and got them right there at number 13.
Yeah, we sat and watched the quarterback's film the other day and looked at it. He looks pretty solid.
Solid quarterback, yep.
All right, so for number 12, before I get into number 12, I want to go ahead and show real quick. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to our magazine, our monthly football magazine. If you go to our website, there's an icon that says subscribe today. It'll take you straight to our PayPal link. And as soon as you subscribe, just put your address. We'll start mailing out the magazines. So we ask you to go ahead and subscribe to our monthly football magazine. You'll receive 13 issues. Right now, with the COVID-19, we're going to go ahead and extend that out. It's going to be about 2 years of subscriptions. Just because of the COVID-19, we'll make sure everybody's getting our football magazines. So number 12, the reason I wanted to bring that up, Marcus.
Okay.
Not because I like you or nothing, but I like your kids. I'm going with number 12 with Woodlawn and Baton Rouge. Now, before anybody starts hating on me, because you guys won what, 2 games last year?
2 games last year.
So here's the thing.
Got us up there high.
Here's the thing why I have Woodlawn and Baton Rouge. It's my job. It's your job to coach football, right? It's my job to go out and watch football and evaluate talent across the state. Some of the things I've learned how to do is evaluate guys, how they move, how they run, how they walk, and they determine how good can they be. Your team is loaded. You have one of the top quarterbacks in the state, Ricky Collins. You have one of the top wide receivers in the state, Tremont Douglas Jr. You've got a great running back in Amani Givens. You've got a great offensive line. I think you have 2. Your left guard and left tackle, both 6'5", 300 pounds. Your center's 6'2", 6'3".
Right.
Your defensive line, your smallest guy on your defensive line, your nose tackle. He's got a fast first step, great use of hands. Your defensive end, you got a 6'5" defensive end. He came to our camp. He ran a 4.5 40 at our camp back in February. And the defensive backs, you got I personally have your defensive backfield as the number 1 defensive backfield in the state of Louisiana. The reason is your nephew just transferred over. He moved into your district. So Eric Randall Jr., who I have as the number 1 ranked safety in the state of Louisiana.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. He's going to Memphis. He's already committed to Memphis. He's the number 1 ranked safety in the state of Louisiana. He's just transferred to you. Then you got your other safety, Leonard Harris, who's in the top 5 safeties in the state of Louisiana. So you have 2 top 5 safeties. Your cornerbacks, you got a young man just transferred over from was it Ponchatoula?
Plaquemine.
I'm sorry, yeah, Plaquemine. Mm-hmm. Just transferred over from Plaquemine. He's a 6'1" cornerback, right? Mm-hmm. So you are loaded from every angle of the game of this team. Plus, you play one of the hardest outside of the Catholic League in New Orleans. You play in the hardest district in the state. You've got Dutchtown, EA, Santa Maria, and Catholic High, and McKinley, all in your district.
Correct.
Every year, any one of those teams go deep in the playoffs. So here it is. You've got you've had a year with your program. You've got great athletes. You've got kids that transferred in. The last 2 years come over and want to play for you. I have you at number 12. In this year's. Now, if you're at Woodlawn, don't let this go to your head. You still got to play the game. But I have you as number 12.
I want to say this too. I want to say this too. To all due respect, Mark's my boy, and I'm not saying this. Looking at the talent, looking at the coaching, how he trains all season, that makes a big difference. Not too many coaches trained the way he does. Not taking away from nobody coach, no coaching ability, but the way he gets out there and grind. I might call mother. I might hear from him about a whole week or so. But I know he's out there grinding and making these kids better, and he doesn't mind grinding and showing them and they listen to him. When you play great, you have great athletes, you learn from the great. So this is a making of a national powerhouse. I've seen the national teams. I've seen how they do it. They're no more different from that. I'm not just saying that don't win. But in all sincerity, you got gorillas, man. You got gorillas up here. What it's gonna make them do? It's gonna make them step their game up.
I mean, everybody knows me. Everybody knows me.
Trying to get better.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Marcus. Everybody knows me. Knows I'm gonna shoot. I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. I'm one of those guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing.
Nah.
A turd's a turd. Is always gonna be a turd. No matter how much sugar you put on it. So
I've watched them. I've seen them.
I am never gonna sugarcoat that. I do not. If I say I believe in something, I'm gonna say it. I don't care who you are. I believe that you have one of the number 12 ranked team. I don't care that you guys only won 2 games last year. I think we're coming up this season, what you've got, what you've built, I've seen it in those kids' eyes. Those kids are running. You're like the Ed Orgeron at 5A right now. Those kids want to run for that brick wall for you. So, that's what everyone, I've interviewed most of those kids. They all saying the same thing. I want to play for Coach Randall. So I have to have you in the top 12. Just because of what's going on.
Yeah.
I've seen teams across the state. I have Destran on here. I have EA on here. I have, there's only 15 slots, so I have the big teams on here. I have to put you on there. So go ahead. What's your number 12?
Go. My number 12 is Ouachita Christian.
Ouachita Christian?
Ouachita Christian has a great program, great passing program. They running that bullet offense. That bullet offense. They got 70% running and 50% pass, and they can mix it up different ways. They have a good defense coming back too. They lost some kids, but they got a good defense coming back. And so I think that 15, that spot there is a good spot for them. Because one time they was ranked nationally. One time it's not all about ranking national, but they got recognized national. I think 2 or 3 years straight, and they started climbing back up that ladder. And so, Ouachita Christian Coach 12.
Okay.
All right. At my number 12, I got Notre Dame of Crowley. They solid every year. I mean, there's a 12, 13 team deep in the playoff every year. I mean, those guys do a great job. They pretty much man their district every year, and those guys come ready to play. They coaches do a great job with them.
Yeah.
Like I say, man, you can always look for those guys to be deep in the playoffs. You can always look for them to play some of the tough teams.
They play smart football there.
Oh yeah,
smart. And they play smart football.
They don't play fancy ball, straight ball. They do this.
So they do that. They do what they have. They got the tradition that that goes along with it, and those guys steady coming every year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them at number 12.
Yeah.
My number 11. I'm gonna follow up what you said. Now my number 11 is Ouachita Christian. They won state last year. I think they won 41-20 something.
Mm-hmm.
So they won big. They won by a double-digit margin last year. They have I think the number 3 overall athlete in the state at quarterback. He's returning for his senior year. They're gonna do big things. So I have them at number 11. Very solid program about Monroe. Sorry, I got that southern dialect. So that Monroe. I think they're going to do big things. I got them at number 11. I think those guys are going to be the team to beat. It's going to be the Catholic Pointe compete, or going to be the St. Edmund Blue Jays going to play them for the state championship.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Notre Dame Crowley, Coach.
Okay.
Notre Dame Crowley, again, that's another powerful team. They've always been in the playoffs for years. Last year they had a very good year. They have a good running game and passing game, and they got a good defense that really keeps them in the game. And so their defense holding things down, a great coaching staff. And I think that's going to be a good spot for them. I think they're going to really climb up this year big.
All right, number 11. I got Landry Walker out of New Orleans. They've been doing great things over the last few years. They always got a great passing game, and they always bringing in guys that can that can go and get it. Man, I don't know what they got in the water down there in New Orleans, but they fine, and it spread it out nice and evenly. As you can see, they just got a lot of athletes down there. So I got Landry Walker coming in at 11. I'm looking at them doing some good things in that district they play in, and as they go through the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, for number 10, I got Lafayette Christian Academy. Trev Falk, one of your former teammates there too. They've done big things down there. They've been to the state championship 2 years in a row now. They've won it 2 years in a row. I think they're going to continue winning the state championship because they just, they built a great program. They built a dynasty down there. So I have number 10 at Lafayette Christian.
Number 10, I have Woodlawn Panthers.
Oh, you follow me with
Woodlawn Panthers. It is what it is. It's time. Coach won 2 games last year, but that doesn't mean anything. It's all about the work that he does in the off season to make these kids great. And these kids are hungry like gorillas, like young gorillas ready to break out. When you have the gorilla mentality, it's all over good coaching. When you have a diamond cut gorilla, that's what I look at the Woodlawn Panthers as being. The sky is the limit. You all gonna go high in the playoff, coach, and I just think you got the coaching ability to do it, and it's gonna change the kids' mind frame. The atmosphere's been changed already. It changed last year.
Well, we'll be definitely like him.
Yeah. It's winning.
Now we already know you guys are number 1.
Yeah. You changed some mind. You shook some. The foundation being shook.
Yes,
So
indeed.
now this year's gonna really be proven. I really think that's gonna be a really good spot for you all. You're gonna be great in 5A.
Good deal, man. Well, at my number 10, I got Zachary High School. They've been the last 5 years. I think they've been in the dome 3 years out of the last 5.
Yeah.
They just lost Keelan Brown this year to Memphis, but they brought in a brand new quarterback that'll be a 10th grader this year, and Holstein. He's got plenty of offers already. They got Chris Hilton out there, wide receiver, that's already got gobs of offers already. So I think that offense is going to be very explosive. They pretty much manned their district the last 4 to 5 years straight, and I'm looking at them going deep in the playoffs again, maybe making that dome run. So I got them at number 10 right now.
My number 9 is Landry Walker. I'm gonna say what you said. Keenan Lewis, he's built a great program down there. I don't know what it is in the water, but he's doing it right. I think he's got 3 guys already signed Division I FBS offers. So they're doing it right. They're building a program. They're building a franchise down in New Orleans. So my number 9 is Landry Walker.
Okay, my number 9 is Madison Prep. Roo to my frat brother. Landry. The brothers always fronting and stuff. He's an outstanding job. Madison Prep has had a solid program for a lot of years. Last year they was off the hook last year. This year we were more off the hook. Last year had so many but thorough receivers. It was unreal. It reminded me of Mississippi Valley. Jerry Rice days. Really tall. I could thread needles.
Right.
Yeah, they have a great passing game, great coaching staff. Those kids have really worked hard. I just think they're gonna do a great job. Representing Madison Prep. They're being recognized nationally. They're doing their thing. I just think, my frat brother, the Q, always be leading, the purpose to go, the brothers always lead, I had to say it, throw that for the brothers, man. Great job, Landry, man. Y'all gonna do a great job. I think they're gonna do a good job this year.
Good deal. At number 9, I got Washita Christian. Y'all just spoke about them. They're a team that's kind of moving from 1A to 2A back and forth, and they've done great in both of them. They showed that they could play. They could play all the way up to 5A, all the way down to the 1A team. They've been in the dome. They won it last year. I know back when it was in 1A a few years ago that they won it multiple times as well, and they just bringing that fire back over there. So I think they got a great team coming back, and that they're going to do some great things too this year.
My number 8 is John Curtis. They've kind of fallen off for the last couple of years, but I think they're coming back. So I have number 8 at John Curtis.
Okay.
I think people started to catch on that triple option they got. But
Yeah, it's very dangerous. My number 8 is Catholic High. Catholic High.
Baton Rouge?
Yeah, Baton Rouge. I really think so. Coach, they might. I don't know.
You have them that high?
Got a bit high, coach. I don't know. They might get that gorilla cage and probably do something. For me watching, I don't know what they're gonna do. But for me watching them at practice, I work out every morning at Catholic High watching them. Drills really don't mean nothing, but they look good size wise. Matter of fact, they're playing IMG this year.
Okay.
On the 15th of September. And I don't know, dealing with the COVID, they might have, I understand a lot of teams that can cancel a lot of traveling out of town gigs. But I think they're going to do really good.
That's going to be a good test for them.
That's going to be a very good test. As you lines, you got them big running backs and that big line. Like Heather Kai got a pretty good big size line. I think they're going to do good.
Number 8, I got Lafayette Christian.
Okay.
Again, like I say, I think Coach Trev Falk doing a great job with them. That's another one of those teams like Walker Sharp Christian that went up from 2A to 1A, and they pretty much manned it, for the last 3-4 years. And they got one of the top safeties in the state coming back. So I think that their defense is gonna be pretty good. I saw a few of the other linemen that they had up at the camp. They got some pretty nice sized kids. Some good technicians over there, and they're doing a great job with them over there. I got them at my number 8.
My number 7, I have Lake Charles College Prep. You know, most of y'all may have never heard of them, but I mean, you were sitting there, you asked me, who the hell is Lake Charles College Prep? And I was like, we sat there for over an hour. We looked at some of those kids they got. They've put together a program. They have, speed at every position. Their running back, their wide receivers. You doubted me, and I showed it to you. They got 4.4 speed at their running back and wide receiver spots and their quarterback spot. So I have them at number 7 in the state. I think that what I see out of them is they're trying to become the next John Curtis. You know how John Curtis got 24, 25 state championships.
Yeah.
They're trying to build that program up to have that type of elite caliber in Lake Charles.
Okay.
For my number 7, I have West Monroe. West Monroe has really been over the years. Well, last year they were really good last year. They were in a tough conference. They did a really good job with the passing game. They had a lot of big receivers and some good defensive ends they had, and they're pretty good safety, all right. It's pretty good. I think they're gonna do a really good job with the coaching staff if they could hold up to this one. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying it's gonna be they doing good if they hold up and just stay consistent. Stay consistent. They don't stay consistent, it's going to be kind of tough. But if they stay consistent across the board, with the kid just relaxing, not rushing, they're going to be all right.
Okay. Number 7, I have John Curtis as well. I mean, I think that they got a great program. That they simple, but they do it well. I mean, those guys that they run that offense to the T. They've been doing it. You know where they're going, but you still got to stop them. And having too many teams have been able to do that over the last decades.
Right.
So I definitely got them still in there at number 7. I know they might not be the team that they've been, but they still is one of the best teams in the state.
My number 6, I'm going with STM, St. Thomas More out of Lafayette. I think they're a team to beat, in their division. They have Jamie Howard's son, Walker Howard's going to be leading and taking the reins. He's going to be first year starting this year. He's going to be his junior year. He already signed and committed to LSU. He looks the part, so I want to see what they do. I mean, they've always played smart football. They've got great coaches. They've got a great staff. They got a great, like I said, they're loaded.
Coach, you in that West kind of deep over in that West. You in that West over there kind of deep, go Wild West over there. For my number 6, right?
Yes.
Number 6, I have Zachary Broncos. As we all know, Zachary, let's keep it with Zachary Broncos has been a power. That community comes together with those athletes. They grow them, they train them or something. What that goes is the elite program that they have, the feeder program. They produce a lot of great kids in that program over the years. Zachary's had quarterbacks, running backs. Last year they did pretty good. They did very well. You can't knock them out because they're like a fighter. They keep punching. You might knock them down, but they're going to bounce back up. They're going to come with a power. So I think Zachary might win it all in their division.
Okay, good deal. Number 6, I got St. James.
Okay.
St. James High School. I think Coach Valdez done a great job over there. Those guys. He had a great season last year. Everywhere Coach Valdez been, he's been a winner. He's took multiple teams deep into the playoff, multiple teams into the dome. And they went 15-0 last year. I see him making that same type of run going into this year.
Yep. My number 5 is West Monroe. Like you said, they have a good program. I say good. They're the LSU North.
Right. Right.
They have a great program. They always putting guys in the league. They're number 1 in the state with the most guys in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So number 1 high school in the state. So they're always doing it right. They're always getting these guys done. Train them right. But I see them more of a wild card. The reason they're always a wild card is they're in a tough division. They play Ash. They play Pineville. They play Ruston. So it's a strong division up there in the north. Yeah. But I have West Monroe winning it all and being 5A state champs this year.
Right. My number 5 is Landry Walker.
Okay.
Landry Walker, they have a good program. They have a good program. They learn, they put a lot of different programs together over the years. Last year they were pretty good. They're steady climbing the ladder. They're steady climbing the ladder, what they have. The coach did a good job of coaching, and I think the offense could have like opened up a little bit more. They could open up a little bit more to really put them on that broader, not being like stunned, like scared to do this because of the talent. But they have a talent. You're gonna hear a lot from Landry Walker this year. You're gonna be surprised. It's gonna shock a lot of people.
Okay. And number 5, I got West Monroe too as well. I think they run a great program. I mean, they've been one of the powerhouses.
Yeah.
They're going to be year in year out. They got a great weight program. So I mean, the guys are always strong. I mean, they most of the time man those trenches. So I see them being another power this year.
My number 4, I'm going to speak about what you said, Coach Valdez with St. James. I got the number 4. They went 15-0 last year. I think they're going 15-0 against this year. They got the number 1 defensive tackle. I think it's number 1. One of the top defensive tackles out of this year's class. They have a number 1 wide receiver for next year's class. They're going to continue to build that program, and I see a lot of great things out of St. James.
Okay. My number 4 is John Curtis. John Curtis is like a raging bull, a train coming down the sidewalk, coming down. I mean, this will be real. John Curtis might win the game 14-17. Next week they're beating somebody 56-0. I mean, that's how they're doing. They were ranked number 1 in the nation, I think, 2 years ago. Number 1 in the nation. And they beat the number 1 team really bad when they came to the Superdome. I think it was 60-something to like 6 or something like that. They really beat them pretty bad. But they do a great job of recruiting. That's what they do. They have a great job of recruiting. They have big linemen I heard this year. They got 2 good running backs. They run that Pro Set and that Veer. And I had the chance to see my school play against them. And they always give them a game because Capital ran the Veer back in the days, and he ran the Veer. John Curtis, he still ran the Veer. Like you say, Marcus, simple.
Still got to stop.
Still got to stop them.
Still got to stop.
Simple.
Them,
They don't have crazy athletes. They make good decisions. And he's doing something good. They have 27 state championships. Doing something right.
Tradition do win.
Oh yeah, yeah, tradition
do
yeah.
win. Well, I'm sitting here at number 4. I got St. Thomas More. Even though they lost their quarterback, they got another dominant quarterback coming back in that already committed to LSU, and Walker Howard. He got a great receiving core. He got, in my opinion, one of the best receivers in high school, and I think that they're going to do some great things. I mean, they got the tradition of over the last few years of just winning. I think that culture is built over there now, and when you got a trigger man that can throw the football, man, I mean, the sky's the limit.
My number 3 is until you can beat them, Bryce Brown. But they has that card, guys.
Right.
You know, so until you can beat them, they're gonna be right there. He's turned that program into a dominant force. 2-time state champions. They're gonna be probably most likely to be number 3.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 is Archbishop Rome.
You know, we're gonna argue about that in a little bit, but okay.
Yeah, I know. Archbishop Rome, they got some assassins on that field. They got some guerrillas. They got a pile. They got the trench one. They got big guys in the trench, 6'4", 6'5", 6'7". What can you do with monsters like that when they real coach? I mean, be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, it is what it is. The offense and defense, the linebackers, I love linebackers. The linebackers look real well. They're not flashy, basic defense and offensive team. Like you said, Mark, you got to stop them to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like another John Curtis. The John Curtis, the Romers, they have something in the water. They got a good program, and they do a good job of training. The weight room is off the chain.
Yeah.
The weight room is off. That's the first part of the rule of thumb. The weight room, the conditioning. I think it's going to do a real good job with that.
Yeah. We're sitting at number 3. I'm going with Cali High. Cali High, they made it to the championship game last year. They're running a great program over there. Coach Fertitta done a great job over there getting those guys ready to play. We actually played against them in district, so we got a chance to actually see him. And he part of that district that you're talking about, man. We got a tough district over there, but Cali High had a great 9th grade JV team. Got a chance to see those guys too as well. So they won't be rebuilding; they just will be reloading over there. And I got them at number 3 right now.
See, I'm gonna pick up where you said I'm gonna have them number 2. So
Okay.
I have Catholic and Baton Rouge at number 2.
Okay.
So we have a UR in a tough district. That's a good. I mean, it's gonna be competition. When they win the district, they're gonna go into the private school, district or a division. They're gonna clean house, and I think it's between them and my number 1. I ain't gonna tell you who it is just yet. But
Scotlandville, that Hornet is really stinging some people. They really turning a lot of heads. They come up with Central, what's that, Central and Zachary. I think that Zachary and Live Oak, yeah, they got a lot of powerhouses. It's gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be guerrilla warfare. Like I say, it's gonna be guerrilla warfare in the trench, baby. Who don't get turned left? Who don't get turned right? You got to go head to head all night. That's my thing.
Gotcha.
Let's get it. Let's get out. But I think the Scotlandville and the Zachary is gonna be a powerful game.
Okay, and number 2, I got Carr. Like you said earlier, and they've been beaten. They hold their ranks high right now, man. They're doing a great job down there, getting those kids ready to play, keeping them mentally stable. Sometimes when you've won that many times and you really don't know what losing feel like, it's easy to let things slip. So they've been doing a great job of keeping them grounded. He built that culture over what it is. So he's not only just winning football games, he raising some young men over there.
Yes.
And they playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. They having fun with it, but they doing it inside of the rules. But I like the swag they come with all the time. So they really are doing a great job over there.
All these are blue smoke, huh?
That's it.
The blue smoke, man, fly.
before I mention my number 1, which we already kind of know what I'm gonna say. How much did Lester pay you to put him at number 2?
Up there high.
You got him way that high up. Man. No disrespect, Lester.
I ain't saying he can't beat it.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
You got number 2.
I'm just saying I believe in him. I believe in him. I believe no on it.
So my number 1, I kind of let the back out earlier. It's Archbishop Rommel. Until we beat, and like same thing with Ed and Carr. Until you beat them, you got to play them.
Correct.
So I think it's gonna be between them and Catholic. Again this year, I think Catholic can beat them. They Fertitta has done a great job coaching those young men up. He did lose a lot of guys, but like you said, they're not rebuilding; they're just reloading. They're bringing guys in, and they're so deep that they have 4-star players just sitting on the bench. So they've got a lot of depth. They got a lot of great players. But Bishop Rommel, I think they're right now until you beat them, Gabe. You're number 2, and Archbishop Rommel number 1.
That's something like something that Nick Saban said on the LSU. Something that he said. There's a God moment, a moment in the championship game. We pull everybody out and put all freshmen in. So everybody got to come with their fresh move now. So if you're a freshman, you got to step it up. If you want to play varsity, if you're that good. So don't cry. Let's get it. So you never know. If you really that gorilla, let's prove it. Now you may have more experience, but the technique is all how you've been trained in your heart. I truly believe that. So it's time for a lot of the freshmen. You got a lot of freshmen. Marcus probably got a lot of freshmen that's off the chain. That's hungry to get in there. I want to prove, I can do this. I catch that down. I ain't scared to cross the middle.
Mm-hmm. So who you got number 1?
The famous Edna Carr. Until you beat them, you better come with it. Because they coming with some gorillas that's certified. Already. I'm telling you, already. Marcus say already. You better have your stuff together because they coming. They're going to have that blue smoke in there. Running down the field, that blue and gold smoke, it's over. You can hang it up. If you don't, the first step of the game is on. I think they coach doing an awesome job with the conditioning first. They do an excellent job with conditioning and then weight room to eat the weights up. Great. This is a great all around staff. He has rebuilt that program. When they came together as that powerhouse, you can't go wrong. They need to be ranked. They need to be ranked national. If not, I think they are. I think like 55. But I think they're going to go a little bit higher than that because you have a lot of great teams, I think, from Louisiana that need to be in that national ranking. That's been up there, but we haven't been consistent with it. But I think this team, if they get there, it's over with.
Good deal.
They finna go on the road.
Before you
Right top of mine. Okay, go ahead.
before you get to number one, I know who it is. I think it's gonna be Woodlawn, but
We coming.
go ahead.
Oh, we coming. Now, mine will top off with Archbishop Rummer as well. I think they are the king right now in Louisiana. They won state championship last year. I think they got in the class of 2021 one of the, if not the best quarterback coming back. That'll be playing. So I think that those guys will, like you say, I mean, till you beat them, they gotta hold their reins, and they've been consistently good. I mean, they always got great athletes. They always get playing, nice, sound football, and doing it at a real high level right now.
Coach, let me ask you this: Archbishop, Archbishop and Edna, who would you pick?
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. I mean, obviously I gotta go with Rummer because I got him number one.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're wrong.
I got him number one. I got caught right there though. I mean, right there, it could be a 1A and a 1B. That would it probably would be.
Right.
Well, it's tough trying to put these 15 together. We talked about this all for the last week about who we're gonna have a top 15. How we're gonna do it. And it's like, well, let's do 25. Or let's do 10. Let's do that. You always gonna leave guys out. Like I left out Zachary. It wasn't on purpose. It was just that I'm trying to find the top 15 guys. There's a lot of guys. My other teams. I got Zachary on there. Apple's Catholic gonna be good. Mandeville, Southern Lab, East Ascension, another team in your district. They're loaded. Death Tryon, Ruston, North Shore High School. North Shore, lost by a couple points to Warren Easton last year. They're gonna be good again. St. Augustine out of New Orleans, they lost to Archbishop Monroe by 1 point in the quarterfinals last year, and then like I said, Zachary. I got a wild card team. I'm going to go ahead and mention my wild card team. You guys pick your who. I didn't tell you guys about this because I want to surprise on the spot. I didn't want you to plan on it. So if you have a wild card team, who would it be? My wild card team this year is going to be Rose Pine High School. I know that's my alma mater, but the reason I'm picking Rose Pine High School is because their quarterback is already committed to LSU to play baseball. He's a junior. You want to know his junior year? Last year I saw him last year against Oberlin, and this guy can throw the ball. I mean, this cat can really throw the ball. I mean, he can play. I think he can play at FBS football and FBS baseball the same year. Same team. I don't know if he's gonna be able to LSU, but he can definitely do it at UL, La Tech, or ULM, Tulane. He's definitely an FBS baseball player and football player. Their running back had 1,500 yards rushing last year, and as a freshman, they have two wide receivers that both can play FBS football, and they're both sophomores. That team is loaded with skill. Their weakest areas are offensive line. If they had some size in their offensive line, they can do some stuff. But that quarterback, he can move out. He moves very fluid. He's got fast feet. He can get him out of situations and get that ball down the field. Tight end, they've got one of the best tight ends in the state. He's 6'3", 220-pound tight end, can move. So my go-to pick as a wild card for this year is Rose Pine. I think Rose Pine can make a run, and if not the whole thing this year.
Okay.
Who will be a wild card pick for you?
You're not gonna believe this. Mentorship.
Okay.
Mentor. Coach Wood did a good job of rebuilding that program. Not because I've been knowing him from we grew up together. Just seeing his coaching ability, and like you say, Coach, raising men, trying to raise these young men to change the dynamics of the school. And they went to the playoffs last year. They had a real good running back last year. I think they're gonna go in the playoffs. They're gonna surprise some people with that running game they have. I think.
My wild card, which probably won't even be a wild card now because I think you let the cat out the bag. You had them in your top fifth team, but LCCP. Only for the simple fact that many people don't even know about their school. That's why I was saying. But as we said earlier in the show, that they got athletes all over the place. So if you don't know about them, that's why I'm saying it, because most people don't even know that school even exists, but they will know. So that will be a wild card team that's gonna set their mark this year, and a lot of people will know about them.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I hope everybody that watched this. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. Next week we're going to bring you the top 15 from Texas. Texas high school football. And this is Louisiana-Texas football, so we're going to do top 15 next week.
Gotcha.
So hope you guys join us again next week. I do want to give a shout out again to Detillier Financial down in Lutcher. Check them out. And I want to thank Marcus and Corey. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next week.